Hi, it's Steve. Today we're going to show you how to change the door latch bracket on your dishwasher, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a number 15 Torx screwdriver, a small flat blade screwdriver, and a 3/16 socket or nut driver. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, since we will be working near some electrical circuits, the first thing we'll need to do is to disconnect power to the dishwasher. So if it's portable, just make sure that it's unplugged. If it's a built-in unit, locate the breaker or fuse panel and turn the power off at that source. Well, next we'll open the door and we're going to remove the screws from the inside inner door panel that secure the console to that panel. Now, these are a number 15 Torx screw. Now once you have removed those screws, you should be able to just tilt that control panel forward and lift up on it slightly and then tilt it down. Now, next we're going to remove this protective cover over the control board, and it has some plastic tabs around the perimeter that hold it in position, and there will be little indicators to tell you where those are at. And you can use the flat blade screwdriver to release ones that are a little tight. And just lift that cover off and set it aside. Now with the cover removed, we can next unlatch the two hooks for that bracket and lift that away from the control panel. Now you will note the door latch switches that are attached to that bracket. So we'll next remove those. They're held in place with the 3/16 screw. And then we can take that bracket completely away from the dishwasher. We're next going to remove the handle, and it just clips onto two studs on either side of that bracket. So just gently push that forward while lifting up on that tab. Do that on both sides. Then pull that away. We're also going to remove the latch actuator from that bracket. So just pull straight down on it, lift up slightly at the bottom to clear the two little stops, and then remove it. At this point we can discard the old bracket. So our first step will be to install the latch actuator. So sit that down into the middle, line it up with the two tabs over top of the rails there, push it forward to lock it in place. We can reinstall the handle. Just push back sharply on both ends while raising that little tab. And that will lock that in place. Now if your dishwasher used two switches on it, you will note that the new replacement bracket has a tab that is in the way of the switch on the left side. So if you just rock that tab back and forth a couple times, that will snap off and we'll be able to mount that switch in place. Note the location of this tab on the new bracket where it was not on the old one. So we're simply going to just rock that back and forth until it snaps off. And once we've maneuvered that back and forth a few times, you can just take a sharp blade and make a slight cut across the bottom, and then it'll break right off. Now with that piece removed, we'll now be able to set that switch in there flush. We can now set that switch down on top of that locating pin, press it firmly into place, Then we'll install one of the new mounting screws. Same for the opposite side. Line that switch up with the locating pin, press it into place, route the wires around the back, and install one of the new screws. Make sure they're tightened securely. We're going to set that bracket assembly back in the control panel, making sure that the tabs line up and hook on the catches. Once that's in position, we'll reinstall the protective cover, and again we'll line up the tabs for it. Make sure they're all engaged. Then just tilt the door slightly forward, and we'll hook the bottom of the control panel down in behind the top of the front panel, and then just rotate it into position. Make sure that it sits flush, and then we'll reinstall the number 15 Torx screws. Make sure you don't over tighten these screws, as they just go into plastic studs. We don't want to strip them or break those plastic studs. So just make sure that they're secure. Check the action of the latch. We're now ready to reconnect the power, and our repair is complete.